came home though, and I got to tell you, I had asparagus for lunch, and not having peed for 6 hours. Oh my!
The
Like
old asparagus pea, eh?
the fermentation was there for a while, I
I like
guess.
it. I like it.
So
That's good.
anyway, I guess that's more than enough to welcome you to the Master of Unlocking podcast.
There it is. Classic.
Yep.
We're classy.
So I'm Logan. Caleb to my left. I guess I don't know who. Yeah, this screen wise, you would be to the left.
Yeah.
So if
you're recording.
This, yeah, that's true. And then Jason down here. Jason always holding up the bottom. I think we've been consistent in where we're located, so that's always good.
That's good. I like it.
I'm glad we're staying consistent with that.
Who's up here? If I do this, who's up here?
Caleb.
Logan for left, Caleb for right. That way I can be like, you motherfucker.
Okay, great. And then we can do the old Brady Bunch, like stare at,
yeah, and if we can have awkward sexual tension like they had in those tiles, that'd be good too.
Yes, it would, especially from Robert Reed. Anywho,
it's hard to look down.
It is hard to look down. So.
That is weird, isn't it?
So I feel like we should start with our assignment from last week.
Sure.
We had a fast food assignment last week.
Oh, I forgot. Yes.
The assignment was to try Wendy's breakfast. So I believe we have all accomplished said breakfast. And yeah, I guess let's go through what did each of you have. So Caleb, go ahead and start. What did you have?
I had the breakfast burrito and the potatoes. I don't know what the potatoes are called.
They were basically potato wedges. They were not quite breakfast potatoes.
Seasoned potatoes, I think is what they call them.
Seasoned potatoes. That's what they were. Jason, what did you have?
I had the breakfast baconator.
Yes.
The seasoned potatoes as well. Whatever those things are called.
Got it. I had a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit with the potatoes.
I like the diverse choices we've made here. This is great.
We went all different things. So that breakfast baconator, is that on a bun?
Yeah.
What's different about a breakfast baconator versus a regular baconator?
So this one has egg. They haven't been so bold to put. Can you imagine egg on a baconator?
Oh man,
my god!
Actually, I'd be all in on that thing. That'd be pretty great. I do like egg on a burger.
That'd be double down levels of calorie count. So it is sausage instead of the burger patty.
Got it.
Bacon, cheese, egg, and I think there is mayonnaise on it. I'm pretty sure there was mayonnaise on
That's
it.
A Wendy's
I don't mind
thing.
a mayonnaise.
Wendy's usually has mayonnaise.
Yeah, it's just like they took the basic condiment, except I think there's ketchup on a baconator. I'm pretty sure. I think maybe not.
I think they do.
I don't know.
It's what do they call that? Fancy sauce, because it's ketchup and mayonnaise together.
But I think they're separate. I don't think that's the same condiment.
No, they don't.
thing.
Yeah, there's definitely a squirt of one and a squirt of the other. But mixed it together.
Yeah. So I gotta tell you, the sausage I thought was. And we could talk about the sausage. Logan, you said sausage.
I had sausage. Yeah.
Okay. So I thought the sausage was a little spicy for me, but okay flavor. And I didn't mind the mayonnaise at all. I mean, I'm white. I'm in my mid 30s. Of course, I love mayonnaise. So. I thought it was pretty good. The bun is where I have the problem. I think that it's kind of your brain is like, is this lunch? Because you bite into a bun, right? But when the sausage and bacon and egg hit you, you're like, this is breakfast. But I'm supposed to be having this on a biscuit or a croissant, and so the combination is a little. Yes, so I think that the meats are tasty. The food was fine. The bun was a little surprising. I almost would like to see what it tastes like on a traditional breakfast confection. Is that the word we're looking for?
Something like that.
I did not like the potatoes very much at all. And that's where I'm at with the Wendy's breakfast. The iced tea was just fine.
Oh yeah, I had Diet Coke for me.
Diet Coke for me too. Yeah. Okay. Caleb, how was your burrito experience?
So I'll start with the potatoes because I liked those better than Jason. Those are probably,
do you?
Yeah, those were probably the best part of it for me. To be honest.
Interesting. Okay.
The breakfast burrito was, so imagine a regular sized tortilla and then like half of a scrambled egg and then like half of a sausage link crumbled up, and then like a little bit of cheddar cheese on it inside of a regular sized tortilla.
So smaller than a McDonald's burrito, essentially. What you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I opened it up out of the wrapper and I'm like, did they forget to put fillings in here? Nope, they didn't. It's just that small.
Whoops-a-doozle.
Yeah, not impressed at all.
Okay.
How about the flavor? Can we talk about the flavor?
Or was it just all tortilla?
It was hard to tell. It was just a tortilla. And they forgot to give me the hot sauce packets too, so I didn't even have anything to put on it.
Yeah. So I'll start with the seasoned potatoes too. So I think that if I would have had some sort of dipping sauce with them, I think they would have been better. Maybe I would have just even taken ketchup because they were very much they were not a breakfast potato. They were a potato wedge that you would have with like I'll substitute my fries for potato wedges kind of thing.
Were they kind of like? Do you guys feel like they're kind of like the B-dubs potato wedges?
A little bit.
Caleb, and am I onto that or no?
I don't know if I've ever had those.
Oh, dude, B-dubs potato wedges are the best.
They're pretty good.
I would say these were crispier and a little more peppery.
Yeah.
Where I think I would say the B-dubs ones are a little more herb and peppery.
Okay.
That would be the only thing I would say, and I think that I think B-dubs are
similar texture profile.
Similar
right?
texture profile, but maybe B-dubs are a little bit softer. I would think.
So should we do like a score? Oh no, you didn't do your entree yet.
So no, my sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. So I got basically what was the equivalent of like an egg McMuffin circle egg. So it was not scrambled; it was white with the yellow center on it. I don't know if I would really say the sausage was spicy that I had on mine. I just didn't think it was spicy. But everything else, when you combine it all together, I would put it up there with gas station equivalent, like non-branded gas station equivalent of that. So yeah, you could probably go to your Quick Trip or whatever in your area and probably get the same biscuit. So
I kind of think that's a good way of. I don't know, Caleb, if you want to do an official score, but I feel like Logan kind of nailed it for me.
Yeah, let's do a score so we can compare week to week what we get.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So out of what, 5 or 10?
Who's in charge of tracking this from week to week?
Okay, somebody.
We'll remember.
I'm recording the screen, so it's yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna. Okay. So we're gonna have to take the average of the score between the three of us for an overall.
No, we can we each compare to our own.
Okay. I am going to give mine. I would say I think I have to go because it's just very average. It's a 5 out of 10.
We're going out of 10. Okay.
Yeah, out of 10. I think we go out of 10.
I'm gonna go with a 4 out of 10 for the breakfast burrito.
I'm gonna give it a 5 as well. 5 out of 10.
All right.
No.
Very middling. This isn't like video game reviews where a 7 is considered middling.
Right.
These are hardcore
full scale
reviews.
here.
Yeah, it's full scale. 5, 5, 4. So
okay, right. And then we'll have a running list going, and we can tell people, our.
What is the food option of this week? The only thing that I've seen that's new this week is that Popeyes has new dessert options. Options.
We could do that.
I have a retroactive suggestion.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know, Caleb, forgive me, you've already had this, so that's why it's kind of halfway. But what if Logan and I tried? They got fries now. What if we tried the KFC fries, and then met with you on a consensus about those?
Okay. Yeah.
Because I'm kind of excited to try those. Logan, do you have interest in fulfilling that?
I love a good French fry.
All right then. I would like to. I'd like to do that if that's okay.
Is that the only thing? Just the fries, or is there any other?
Should we try some? I mean, because they're doing the strip. Is the strips also the thing? Is that what they're doing?
It's a meal, I think.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do. I'm going to do that. Whatever the $5.50 thing is.
Yeah,
that's
I'll
what
do
I'm
the strips and the fries. And there's a lot of things where you can compare chicken strips.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had KFC's chicken strips either. So okay.
Okay.
All right.
Chicken
There you
strips and
go.
fries from KFC. Okay. I think I can do that this week. That will be. I did have the Grande Stacker at Taco Bell this week.
Whoa.
No, that's.
I'm just telling you, I had it. No ratings,
Okay.
no reviews.
Yep.
Just telling you, I had it.
Settle down.
You're gonna have to at least
Settle
wait
down.
2 more weeks on that to tell us how
Okay.
that was.
I'm just telling you, I had it. I will say though that I was a little disappointed that it was supposed to be. The Grande Stacker box was supposed to have a code to win an Xbox Series X on the box and the drink, and came with neither.
Oh.
Which leads us into Jason.
The
How was your
Series
experience?
X launch.
How
or
did the
pre-order
Series
launch.
X pre-order go?
So
Wait, can I go first? I'll go first.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
Caleb,
Go
go
ahead,
first.
Caleb.
I did not attempt to do this, so
Okay.
okay, that's me. I'm done.
Okay, and I will jump in as Jason's story. I'll be like, okay, and here's something. So I will.
Yeah, Logan,
I'll start with
please
you.
interject in my
your
timeline.
timeline,
So
yeah.
last week we kind of we went chronological. So I'll give you chronological experience. The launch window for us for the pre-orders is 10 a.m. Central Time, and so I was not even given our conversation last week. I was like 50-50 on whether or not I was going to do this. I decided that morning that I was going to try to get one. And so I chatted with a Microsoft chat support person on their website right around 9:35 in the morning. So I decided that I thought it was interesting that on their site they even would have that chat window up. It's like, hey, come chat with us if you need help. I see you're browsing products, which I was shocked by because I was like, you don't want to talk to anybody who's on this website right now. You can't talk to all these people.
Yeah,
and so I jumped into a queue, and it took like 10 minutes. But I was like, you offered, so here it goes. And so I asked them, hey, where does the pre-order link actually, where is that happening on the site? Can you let me know? And she goes, yes, I'll let you know. And so she sends me a link, and the link is like, later on, I sent you guys that specific link in the day, but it had the specifically for the Series X, it had the all access bundle, we'll call it, which was advertised right there as $34.99 a month for the all access package, which is Live, Game Pass, the machine. And then there was next to it was just the system by itself. And then I asked very specifically, because she sent me the link, I was like, but there's nothing for me to click here. Are there going to be buttons? And she goes, yes. Once it goes live, the buttons will display here. So I thought it was just there you go, story. This is the conversation I had with them. They were ready to answer that question. Like I wanted to know specifically where I should click. And then like 9:52 and change, I refresh that page and it goes live with pre-order buttons on both options. And so I decided, mostly because I wanted to know, we talked about this a lot, but I'm really curious how they're going to support this credit check model, monthly billing model, all of this stuff, this cell phone-esque plan model, right? So I click the pre-order on the $34.99 all access option. Nothing happens, of course, right? Shocker. It doesn't like time out. I don't get a specific error. It's just not moving. Like nothing's happening. And then after refreshing the page again, below what was the pre-order button, there was a find a retailer button on each. So in the all access link again, still advertised as $34.99, I click the find a retailer button. That takes me to a Microsoft page with 5 links: Walmart, Target, GameStop, Amazon, Microsoft.
Yeah.
Right. And so I begin to click the retailers with varying degrees of results. Amazon times out. I don't get anything from Amazon. Walmart goes up. and it goes to a coming soon link for me. Target goes to an all access page where they're bundling the Xbox One S. Let me repeat that.
Yes.
The Xbox One S, the current generation Slim, whatever we want to call it.
I don't know.
So the current generation, whatever, the lower tier model with an all access plan. That link is live. It's ready to go. But on that page, I'm not seeing anywhere to select the Series X or the Series S. I'm not seeing anything about the new consoles. It's just an old thing. And sure, you can buy that right away. No problem. So they have the all access plan at Target with an old system. And I'm concerned there that somebody may be out there that might be thinking they were getting the new thing and bought the old thing.
Oh, I think there's plenty of stories on that too.
So I haven't followed any of the news there, honestly, but I could totally see how that could happen because I'm frantically clicking links, and there are multiple generations of things that have an S and an X in it, and that's problematic from a naming convention perspective. Then I open up GameStop. GameStop has the link live. It's ready to go. Series X, pre-order now. I go to click pre-order now, and it takes me to the credit check company that is facilitating all of the credit check for the retailers, including Microsoft. Citizen One,
yeah.
I think. Citizen One. Their site shits out. Like it cannot handle the application load that it's getting. So then that leads me to Microsoft Store. I keep trying to click on the Microsoft link, and there's nothing happening with this all access link. It's toast. It's nothing. Then I go back to Best Buy, and they have what appears to be a page with descriptions of the all access program and the Series S. What's the not Series X, but
Series S? Yeah.
Okay, just make it because it's all confusing. 1X and 1S. Sorry. I can see the beginnings of their page that they're building there, but it's not ready. It's not there. There's no way to buy the thing that you're looking for with an all access system, especially Series X. So then I look at Microsoft's site and I try, well, okay, can I pre-order just the full price version of it? That works. That puts an Xbox Series X into my cart at full price, no all access plan attached to it, just the regular system by itself. I decide that I'm going to leave that there and go back and research all these pages again. So I go through the rigmarole, checking each individual site again, trying to get these all access links to work. Some of them are coming to alive in varying degrees, but I don't know of anyone, and you guys maybe know this or not, I don't know of anyone that has actually pre-ordered an all access Series X. I don't know if that has happened for anyone yet. I did notice that when I was researching the links again to make sure that I couldn't be a part of that program, that the Target website did allow me to put a full priced Series X into my cart, and then Microsoft timed out on me. So I went from holding the Microsoft cart, couldn't access it, back to Target, refreshing it, couldn't access it. Then I was a little bit bummed out because I had made the commitment in my mind, like I was going to get this. And then I was sitting there like, crap, I can't get this Target cart to load. I can't get this Microsoft cart to load. And so I spent the next 10 minutes just seeing the all access pages sort of come to life. And so by the end of that, there was a Walmart page with the options listed very neatly and nicely, but never live inventory in this time frame. So I watched the pages go live. Like I refreshed them from not having it to having it, but never in that time did I see in stock buy now from any of the retailers. I got there with GameStop. I was in the credit check portion for that, but knowing that I was going to have to go through that third-party affiliate link and maybe process virtual paperwork and give over my social security number, like all that stuff, I decided to, once I finally got the Microsoft, I got the Microsoft page to work. I put the Series X in the cart, and I purchased it, $500 straight up. And then, just for academic and curiosity reasons, I went and watched these other pages go live. And so I have one. It's on the way. I will be opening both systems and playing both of them. I'm not some sort of scalping person, which everybody has to say now when they land a pre-order of some kind. Right? Is like, you got to say, like, I want this because I want this, and I'm not that guy. This is literally my only hobby. Not true, but my biggest hobby, and I will be playing. I will be playing both of these systems and enjoying them. But I do think it's interesting that I watched all this unfold in just as messy of a fashion as Sony, if not worse, because there was a program people were trying to be a part of that they couldn't make happen, and they weren't ready to make happen. And then when the links finally went up, they said coming sooner, out of stock.
Yeah.
So did they put this program out there and then only sell like full priced units? So I don't know. That's what happened to me.
From what I understand, there were some that were available, but not as many as the full priced ones at launch. So there is I've heard that they do plan on making the all access plans more available after launch, and that those will be available even in store at some places to be able to do that in store.
That makes sense to me too, because your market for that, the market for, I want to buy a thing in installments is the person walking into a store and not the person pre-ordering. So I get that.
Yeah, you're losing money on the pre-order of the installment plan. They've already shown that you're going to save X amount of money on the payment plans. So if you're looking to get the most bang for your buck, you're looking for a guy who's just, I'm going to pre-order this thing no matter whether I'm getting it on a payment plan or not. I did see where I think there were some sites that had people had gone through the credit check process and then missed out on one. I've seen where some are honoring that, and then some are saying, "Yeah, too bad you lost." I think Amazon was one of those, "Yeah, too bad you lost" people. But I think GameStop, Target, Microsoft,
Amazon also didn't have they didn't have a quantity limit either. So a lot of the
scalpers they do that again? They did that again?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
So yeah, they don't care. They got their money.
I know they don't care.
Every other
I know that's the answer to that question, Caleb. It's just kind of disheartening to me.
Yeah. So
that's why I'm not some billionaire, I guess.
Right.
Business mogul.
Yeah, but I guess I just consider myself a decent person that way. That's fair.
These people don't know you like we know you.
That's true. So after you said you got one, I was like, what are you doing getting one of these? What am I gonna play on it? And you were like, well, I'm gonna play all the third-party stuff on it. And I was like, well, yeah, I play all my third-party stuff on Xbox too. I was like, I'd probably rather play Call of Duty on this than on a PlayStation. So then I got on, after you said you got on, I immediately got one in my cart at Microsoft, got an order number, everything else, but it would never process my card. So I still have one in my cart today.
That's interesting.
Still won't let me check out, but I still have it in my cart.
That's funny. I still in a browser window?
In an order number and everything. But when I go to take the order, I've been like, oh, look up my order number. It's like, yeah, that's not a real thing. But that's why I find really odd that they give you an order number before you actually officially check out. I mean, I tried to check out hundreds of times, probably. But it would, because it just kept saying it's on our end, it's on our end, it's on our end. And I'm like, well, if it's in my cart, does that mean technically it's there? And, but yeah. So that was kind of more my story was short and sweet, but, I did try some of the other sites and immediately just kind of was like, yeah, this isn't going to work. And I was definitely late to the game.
And I'm pretty sure that they've said they'll keep trickling them out, so you might still have chances.
Yeah, that's because there was a recent thing. I think GameStop got on Thursday or Friday. I can't remember which day. They were saying they were taking pre-orders for the week after launch. So they ended up taking, I don't know how many pre-orders, but I'm not sure. And they were taking them in store and online. So that at least tells you that they've got a decent supply chain going. I don't know about Microsoft. It hasn't even been a week, so we'll see if they decide that they can trickle some more out, or maybe they will just have some more around, after around the holiday. So we'll see.
One other observation I made, I kept refreshing those links because I was curious throughout the week to see if pages got more robust and explained better, like what your options were. And mostly everybody did that, but Targets is still a mess. And
yeah, this still has the 1S on there. It's like your option.
It's not good.
I looked at that.
I did notice that the links that I was clicking that Microsoft sent me to that morning, those are gone. Those have changed into retailer only links, and the internal links are gone. So I don't know whether that means that Microsoft has run out of their own stock or they're relying on retailers the rest of the way.
While you were telling that story, I got on Microsoft's site, and they actually have a link now that shows like, okay, here's like out of stock, Microsoft, Amazon, Best Buy, Target. So it tells you every retailer and what the options are. So they do have a link for that on their site now, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see how this goes. If there's more availability at some point, and because there's probably going to be a little more demand, because they also announced a very big acquisition this week. Microsoft bought Bethesda. Who saw that one coming?
Not me.
Not me. Yeah, that was $7.5 billion for but all of Bethesda. So that includes id, so basically the Wolfenstein, Doom, Skyrim, every other property, Fallout, yeah, Dishonored, yeah. Which is kind of funny. We also have a game that's a Bethesda game that's a Sony exclusive coming soon. Wonder how that'll go.
I was really surprised by this, but it makes me think about how we've talked about Xbox this generation and how gangster they're being about stuff, and they continue to walk that line. And do you guys think that there's any way? Like, is there any way they launch this stuff on PS5 when it comes out, like Starfield, like? Do you think there's a chance that they look at the install base of the PS5, or do they wait and see what performance is like, what the install base is like, and then do they make that decision?
They might give an exclusivity window, but maybe not a huge window.
That's what I was just going to say to when you said that they have a PS5 exclusive, is that the word exclusive basically means nothing now. Like the companies are just using that and it doesn't mean anything.
Unless it's first party. That's the thing. First party is exclusive. If Bethesda is now first party.
But I'm just saying, like, Microsoft's done the same thing. Sony's done the same thing. In a trailer, they'll say the word exclusive, and then you find out after they show the trailer, it's not an exclusive.
Because
it's just happened time and time again now. So
Deathproof
who knows what even that means?
Deathproof was supposed to be time. Deathloop. Sorry, Deathproof is the movie based on Deathloop was always going to be timed. I just don't know how long of a timed exclusive it was supposed to be.
I don't know how you can say, like, yes, we have an exclusive game, but it's also on PC and it's also only timed. It's like, then don't use the word exclusive, because that's not what that means.
There was, what was it, the Tomb Raider games? Wasn't there a 1-year exclusivity on that for Microsoft that they had for the first game?
I think it was the second one.
Yeah, maybe it was the second one. It wasn't the third one, but that game was so bad it didn't need one. It was a bad game. Exclusive.
I could see that going either way if they release them on PlayStation or not. It's really it doesn't really matter, because they're gonna be on PC anyway. So I think a lot of people are gonna play them there. And there's nothing coming out even in the next 2 years that they've announced. So
I think Starfield and the next Elder Scrolls game are probably 3 years out.
we may not know the answer to this question for the next 3 or 4 years. So, all the stuff that's coming out now, their deals are already in place. Like they can't change that stuff.
Deathloop and
the
Ghostwire
Deathloop
Tokyo,
thing,
right?
Right. They can't change that now. So we're talking about stuff that doesn't have a deal yet, which is stuff that's still years away. So I don't know if it really matters to talk about yet. Anyway.
Yeah,
I do think it is worth mentioning that you don't win a generation without being the sole gaming machine in most people's homes. And I think that, like the PS2 years ago, it's the thing that had GTA on it. It's the thing that had other Rockstar games that were exclusive. Stuff that you couldn't find anywhere else. God of War, Devil May Cry, Metal Gear. I think that system found its way into lots of people's homes that was their gaming machine. They didn't have laptop gaming wasn't really a thing then, but they didn't have a PC that could play games. And I think that the PS4 has been like that too. I do think that there's plenty of PS4 only gamers out there. Like it's the system they've chosen, it's where they play their video games, and that is it. They don't have a PC that plays games. And those people, if they are Bethesda gamers, I think those are the people that are pretty salty at this decision or would have reason to be concerned about how this is handled going forward. Because Sony does not kill Microsoft the way they have this generation without capturing that marketplace where it's just couch gaming home. And those people that buy, like, we all know them, like the person that buys 2 games a year, you know, like those are more likely PlayStation gamers this generation. Like the sports gamer or the COD person that just plays one release a year, like they're going to buy whatever the box that all their friends have or where they can play it easiest, and that's the only game they play. And so those people, if they have any peripheral interest in Bethesda, I think this does impact them quite a bit to the point where they won't play those games, or if they want it bad enough, they'll have to do the PC route or the Xbox route. So that's just my thought on it.
But then at that point, like, what's the price going to be on a Series X? You know what I mean? Like that could be less of a. We're talking, 2, 3, 4 years down the road here. We're not talking
who knows
stuff that's out in 2021.
350, 300. Who knows?
Yeah,
maybe less.
It may be less of a pain point just because you could go out and pick one up for. Even if you could pick up a used one, you could pick up a used Series S at that point to play these. It might not be that big of a deal.
I can't imagine, and to your point, Caleb, I can't imagine that this impacted the pre-order number much. Right. I may be wrong about that.
Oh, no. I
can't imagine people like, I gotta have an Xbox. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think that happened.
There might be one.
I don't think people were canceling. I don't think people were canceling their PS5 to get an Xbox because of this news. I don't think that person really
I think it makes people a little more excited about the future of Xbox.
Yeah.
And the future of Game Pass, but it's not going to change hearts and minds about pre-ordering something within a day.
We were talking about that last week too. That is another, like, you guys were helping me understand, like, why does Sony continue to price where they price, and then Game Pass is what it is with brand new games. We were having that discussion, and we were talking about tech startups and stuff. I do think that is another really interesting thing that we're talking about. Brand new games from a third-party developer, a set of third-party developers, that will be available day one on this digital service. Like that's new, right? Have we seen that before?
Well, they're not third-party anymore. That's the thing. They're now first-party.
True. Yeah.
That's the kicker.
Yeah, that's true.
There's also a lot of third-party stuff that's launched straight on Game Pass.
Spiritfarer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Which, sure, maybe that just leads us in. So, Jason, you've been playing a little bit of Spiritfarer?
Yeah, I've been bouncing back and forth between Ghost of Tsushima and Spiritfarer, and it's actually been a really nice. I can't describe it. When I go to play the other, I'm really excited to play it, and then when I put the other one down, I'm like, hey, I want to play you.
They are the yin and the yang.
Yes, they really are. One is very nurturing and good for my soul, and the other one is like, God, how many people can I chop up in one 5-minute chunk of time?
Yeah, dude, Spiritfarer is brutal.
It's so violent.
It's just so violent. A lot of death in that game, though. I will say that.
Well, yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
The game is about death.
I've seen my first character into the Everdor.
Yes.
It is.
It's good at the moment.
One thing that that sticks with me, Logan, as I play through this, and you talk about like the tone of the characters, and some of the new characters I've acquired, they're just not Gwen. Like Gwen has a lot of baggage. Like you are working through Gwen's life, and like Gwen is very somber and serious at times, but dry humor, funny. Like there's the Twin Peaks reference, Caleb. That's a damn fine cup of damn fine good. What does he say?
Damn fine cup of coffee.
Damn fine cup of coffee. Yeah. I kept wanting to throw good in there for some reason. But I think like Gwen is like dry humor from Gwen is great, but also like there's like very human. Like this is what my family was like, and this is why, I think about this from my childhood, and it's all very serious. So it makes me wonder, even when you're saying goodbye, it's like, man, this is heavy. I mean, in a good way. Like it's very like, it makes you examine like yourself, how you reflect on things, and like it's a very interesting way to process like the end. Like these people are allowed to kind of zoom out on their lives and process things, and that's really interesting. But also, if it goes in the way it goes with other characters, like I'm curious to see if I feel the way I feel about Gwen's departure as other characters. But we'll see. I'll get there.
You'll have some characters you like more than others. Definitely, there will be. Okay. I think your next couple characters are a little.
Get off my boat. Go away.
Yeah, there are. I mean, there really is. I think I can't remember what it was. It was not the snake, but she was an older lady, and I was just like, just get off my boat. Can we just finish your story?
I liked that one.
You liked her? It was like she was like a hedgehog or something.
The hedgehog. Yeah.
Yeah. She bothered me.
Yeah.
Different strokes for different folks.
I didn't really like the bull and hummingbird.
Oh, see, they were my favorite. The bull and the hummingbird? Oh, they were my favorite.
Assholes.
They were, and that's what I loved them.
Giant assholes. That didn't resonate with me.
I love that they took those characters to like that, just that far extreme, I guess. That's I liked their character. I didn't like them. I liked how they played their character. That's all.
I could not wait to get them off the boat. I'm just like, get out of here. You're just being an ass the entire time. Get off my boat.
So, we'll have to have that'll have to be a category this year. Favorite Spiritfarer character. All right. So you're continuing to play along with that. So that'll probably, if you've only sent one through the Everdor, you're making progress. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's. I was playing both. So,
who all do you have on your boat right now? Do you have the frog? And
I do not have the frog. Oh no, sorry, I do. Is it a tool?
A tool is the frog.
Yeah. The frog. I have the snake. Does her name start with an S? I can't remember. I have her name like right here.
I just
Stella.
Stella. No, Stella is the main character.
Stella's the main character. Yeah.
I don't
something. Summer.
Yeah, Summer is right. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't built Summer Sanctuary yet. I was focused on a Gwen, and then I just got. Is she like a lion or something?
Oh yeah. Okay, it's interesting that I got her definitely after the hedgehog.
Oh really?
So
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure I got her after that. I like the lion storyline as well. Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, don't spoil anything.
I'm not going to, but I like the way that goes. That arc goes. So
because it's unique. It's
very unique.
It's a different way of presenting a story than the other ones. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll see it through. I also am chugging along and Ghost of Tsushima, and I think there's more there with the story than I realized, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a little bit more than I thought I would. Like I do care what happens now, especially with these characters that you spend so much time with. There's a betrayal, Caleb. There's a betrayal from a friend early on in the game, and like I'm conflicted about that character's outcome because I understand why he made the decisions he made, but like also like I want to kill him. Oh, I want to kill him because he's caused so much pain to innocent people around him in the service of trying to care for his flock. And so it's more. There's more there than I realized, and I think what has happened is I didn't see that because I was so busy checking items off of boxes and stuff like that. But I'm getting near the end of Act 2, and like we're going somewhere. I could tell that we're getting to longer cinematics, and characters are starting to interact with one another in interesting ways, and I feel it coming. So I really do like that game still quite a bit. There's just a lot of it.
I think the story is. At first, I was going to say simple, but I think that's a bad word. I think the story is straightforward. There's not a lot of like, this person's side story and this person's side story. It's all pretty linear in that way, but the way that they present it and the way that character arcs do, you have a beginning, middle, and end to them, and you get to know that character and then know why they're doing what they're doing. I think that there's a bunch of payoffs in there for those characters. So
that's good. I will be glad that I saw it through then, because I got more out of. If you remember Yuna, I hit a pretty critical part in Yuna's storyline today, and I was surprised. I was like, this is pretty good. This is better than I thought it would be.
Right. It's just not. It's not a Game of Thrones, right? It's not, you don't have 14 different houses all vying for something and they all have their own stuff going on. It's basically one thing that you're watching,
which is kind of good. Like I kind of want that right now,
but
to
it
be
has
honest.
the same acronym.
Yeah, it's true.
You're right. Well done, Logan.
That's all I can contribute to that.
So that's it for games for me. That's it. Right. That's all I did.
Caleb, should we talk about the game that you and I both played?
Yeah, well, real quick, I just want to say that I finished Spiritfarer since we last talked.
I forgot that it was that you.
Yeah, I had like an hour left.
Oh, I guess that's right. It's been like, yeah.
Yeah, I did get the full 1,000 on that. There are a couple of achievements that I wish I would have done in a different order because I ended up having to just wait around on the boat for a while.
Oh, that's right.
That was not fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I finished Avengers. Did you?
I finished Avengers, yes, and I did some extra. I
only did the extra that you have to do, because there's a point towards the end where you need like a certain amount of resources that the regular enemies drop.
Oh yeah.
That's like, not actually a story mission. You have to go into it. So I had to do like one side mission.
I only had to do one too, and I got it done. But yeah, I did a little bit of online, but I guess we'll talk about the story real quick. I like the story, but I'm also an Avengers nerd, so I can get behind it. But I would also be one of its bigger critics too. But I think the story that they told was a very decent Avengers story, considering it's completely outside the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think the integration of Ms. Marvel was not because she's not in the cinematic universe. I think that made it for a very unique twist, and then having the ability to kind of really see parts of each character was good. Some characters definitely got the short end of the stick. Yeah. Thor especially really didn't have much going for him at all. He just kind of,
and the reason he shows up that you get to play him is just like, oh yeah, here's Thor,
and Thor's here. Great.
Everybody else kind of had like a reason that they showed up or something.
Right.
That they were going for, and he was just like, yep, I'm here.
And Thor's here now. And he's kind of like,
and then there's Thor.
Yeah. And then there's Thor.
Which is kind of a shame because he's one of the more fun ones to play.
He is, yeah. There's definitely a tiered ranking of who I would want to play as. I would say S tier, Black Widow.
Yeah, agreed.
A tier would be Thor, Captain America. B tier, Iron Man. Oh, sorry. I would say A tier would probably be Thor, Ms. Marvel. B tier, Captain America. C tier, Iron Man. F tier, Hulk.
Okay. I'm gonna skip A tier.
Okay.
And then B tier, Thor.
Mm-hmm.
C tier, It doesn't matter. Everybody else is below that.
Okay. For me, Hulk was just the worst. Like he was.
I didn't really mind Hulk. I think I like Hulk better than Iron Man. I don't know. There's something about Iron Man's controls that just did not do it for me.
There was something about working. Yeah. Did you at least figure out that? Because it took me a little bit to figure out that you could switch from like the pulse thing to missiles to like switching.
Oh no, I never did.
So if you hit left or right, they didn't tell you this, but if you hit left and right on the D-pad, you could switch from pulse blast to laser to missiles that you would fire out.
That makes sense because in the Black Widow skill tree, I unlocked her like fully automatic.
Yeah, and that's how you switch to full. That's
automatic.
How you switch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I use Iron Man for like the 2 missions that you're required for, and I'm like, nope, not doing that anymore.
Yeah, because Jason, when you go to play this, as the farther you get in, you're going to be allowed to pick which ones you want to take on your strike team. Not as much as you'd maybe like to. They definitely push you in a direction sometimes that you just have to do. But there's 4 or 5 that you probably get to choose your strike team on. But there's going to be character-specific things that are just going to come up where it's like, yep, you got to do this as Iron Man, and it's just Iron Man by himself.
I would recommend if you're able to pick, take Miss Marvel as a companion because she has a healing ability. Yeah, and that saved my butt a couple times.
Did you end up playing on normal or easy?
Easy.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't hard. It was just I think I died like 2 or 3 times, but there were a couple of times when I just wasn't paying attention, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm really low. Oh, she just popped her heal. I'm good again."
Yeah, that helped a lot. So, what did you think about the story?
I thought the story is actually pretty solid. It's similar to Ghost of Tsushima in that way. It's a very like straightforward. They didn't try to do too much with it, which they very easily could have. There's one villain. There's there's one motivation for what's going on there. So yeah, I enjoyed the story.
And it's a good time frame. It's 8 to 10 hours, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think I was probably more on the 8 side because I kind of just rushed through it. But yeah.
I ended up doing a little bit of the online stuff. Played with some randoms, just because that was the time I was able to play and everything else. Played with a guy from the UK who was very high at 4 a.m. That was he's talking
4 a.m. your time, of course.
No,
right?
4. Yeah, no, yeah.
Wait, which one of you was high?
Right, yeah. It was him. And he would stop, and you would literally hear the bowl like going, and he'd be like, "Oh, yeah, there we go." He's like, "All right, mate, let's get going." It's just like, okay.
That was Australian, but
that is, yeah, it certainly was. But he was British. Jason's done. But yeah, I can't. I'm sorry.
We're a global podcast, Logan. Careful.
My limey accent can't. I don't know. Can I switch to British? Is this British? I don't know. Is this British?
I'm not even gonna try.
I'm not. Yeah. So either way, yeah. It was that style afterwards is like. So I was playing with him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, let's go." I'm not even gonna try his accent. All right, but he's like, "Yeah, let's run this again so we can get another gold item." And I'm like, I'm just not that loot game kind of person.
Yeah.
So like a lot of my gear toward the end of the game was probably like in upper teens. I played.
Oh, I wasn't even that high up. It was like.
Yeah. I mean, I
14,
was like
15 maybe.
Yeah, I was probably like 17, 18 of the level gear I had. I played 3 missions online. By the time I was done with the online missions, my gear was in the mid 40s.
That's funny.
If that tells you just how crazy that gets, of just like how much higher power you are. But at the same time, then the enemies scale to you too, so it doesn't even matter.
Right.
It's like
yeah, and I didn't really like the way that the game controls overall. It just everything felt like very like delayed or sluggish to me in weird ways.
Yeah.
And they constantly put you in places where there's enemies on all sides of you. So like there's stuff shooting at you from behind and you have no idea. So it's going to interrupt your combo when you do that. And it's
not quite Batman-y enough to have, to like really chain a lot of combos together. There's not even like a combo count thing or anything on there, so you're not really getting into like that Batman free flow. Yes, Jason, you have a question?
If we came out with a product called Batmayonnaise, would you be interested in?
No, because that sounds like mayonnaise. That sounds like mayonnaise made out of bats, and I don't want that.
Okay, all right. Just curious.
What if we sold it? What if we called it Batman's Guano?
Ooh,
that didn't hit. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, back to Avengers. Yeah, that game has a lot of polish around it, but at the same time, it's sluggish in a way. Like they put a lot of care into the environments and everything,
and they hired like top tier voice acting.
Yeah, I mean, Troy Baker is in there.
Troy Baker, Nolan North, and who's the girl that's in everything? Jennifer Hale, is that her?
Jennifer Hale, yeah, that's right. Yeah. She does Black Widow, or she do Black Widow, or I think she does Black Widow.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't think she does Ms. Marvel. Yeah, like there's just something about that game that is just like it's right there, but at the same time, the right there is a big right there that it just doesn't feel quite right. And maybe it's because there's so many characters, but I don't know. Jason will be curious what you think about it.
Yeah, it just wasn't overly fun to me.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to play it so that I could see the story, but I was always just kind of like, well, I'll get through this mission. I was never, I'm excited to play this mission,
It's a great idea and concept. I think it just didn't quite hit all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, but Jason, I'll be curious for your thoughts next week. So
it's installing. So here goes.
What else have you been playing, Caleb?
I played through a game called Death Come True. This is by, I have to look it up who it's by, but it's basically, did you guys ever do the Bandersnatch thing on Netflix? Do you know what that is?
It's like a choose your own adventure, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's basically a movie that plays out, and at certain points it'll say, do you want to do this or do you want to do this? And then it'll go down that pathway. And if you run into an ending, then it'll rewind and you can pick the other way. This is pretty much that. It's a little more streamlined than Bandersnatch. Bandersnatch has a lot of like branches and stuff, and this is basically you do it the right way or you do it the wrong way and you go back. But it'll be like, so the whole story is, it starts out with you're a guy who wakes up in a hotel room, has no memories of how he got there or anything that happened beforehand. And there's a girl in the bathtub with her hands tied up, and she's unconscious. So you're trying to figure out who you are and how you got into this situation. So the first thing that happens is there's a police officer that knocks on your hotel room door. So your choice is, do I hide in the closet or do I answer the door? So, and then it plays out depending on which one you do. It's cool. I like the story and the way it went. I do wish it was more like Bandersnatch in the way that it had more branching options, because it was pretty linear on how to get to the end. But yeah, I think it's cool, and it's about 2 hours long. It's on Switch and PC, I believe.
And it's like real actors, right?
Yeah, it's like an actual movie.
I played. There was a game on Game Pass, and I'm not sure if it's still on there. I think it's called Night Shift.
Oh yeah, same concept.
Yeah. It was kind of like, you get to a point, and it was just like, all right, you're either pressing X or A, and figuring out, what do you want to do in this situation? That was a different experience. I kind of liked it. So this. Maybe look into this.
Yeah,
it's on Steam and Switch, right, Caleb?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
The company that made it is 2Q Games, like it's spelled Tokyo but with an extra O. And it was founded by the Danganronpa series writer. So that's why I heard about it, and that's why I wanted to play it. So yeah. And then I started playing Hades. Not super far into it yet, but I did start it.
So what is that game? I feel like I don't know what that game is.
So it is a roguelite. You got to be really careful on those terms.
Not roguelike, roguelite.
Roguelite, yeah. So you play as the son of Hades.
Okay.
And basically, for reasons you don't completely understand at the beginning, you're trying to escape Hades. Hades is the name of the person and also the place, so it's a little confusing. But so you're trying to escape hell, basically,
right?
Because you think that your rightful place is on Mount Olympus. So it's run based. So you have to go through each layer of hell, basically, trying to escape, and they get progressively harder. And then when you die, you go back to the beginning. You have to start all over again, but you do keep some of the stuff you've collected, so you can like upgrade some skills and stuff like that as you go on. You can unlock new weapons, stuff like that. So eventually, by attrition, you'll get to the end of it because you can keep upgrading stuff, which is the kind of roguelike game that I like. I don't like the ones where you have to completely restart all over again.
Yeah, those are hard.
But the combat is a lot like Bastion and Transistor, which are the two games that two of the three they did before this. The third was Pyre. So it's got that same style that those games had. It's got the same amazing soundtrack that those games have.
You liked Pyre a lot, right?
I do like Pyre. Pyre is probably my favorite of the four, at least so far. Obviously, I haven't finished Hades. But the combat is really fluid, and you have an attack, you have a magic attack, and you have a special. And depending on what weapon you choose, those can all be different and modified. And you're also picking up skills as you go through these randomly generated rooms to help you out. It's really cool. I like it a lot so far, but I've only done I think 4 runs, so we'll see.
This has been in early access for a long time, right, Caleb?
Yeah.
But it was officially out this month, right?
Yeah, last week or 2 weeks ago. It was really recent.
Okay.
And it came out of nowhere too. They were just like, "Yeah, this is the 1.0 release." Like, oh, cool.
Seems like
it's on Switch and Steam as of today.
I've heard a lot of people like it, so yeah, I'm.
Supergiant doing their thing.
Yeah.
Caleb, you have to update us on that and see because I'll have to be creative about how I play that if it is something that is really, really serious near the end of the year.
Yeah. Same here. Anything else that you were playing?
Nope, that's it.
All right. So me, I played a little more Maneater. I just don't think I'm a fan. Sorry. I don't know.
Okay.
The worst thing is I own it now, and I don't know what to do with it. Like, do I keep it?
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure if you were going to. I think Jason's got the better shot of the two of you to like that.
So
there's a checklist of items. So I mean, there is a chance. Yeah, it depends. It just depends on how much I like the experience.
I've been going around eating fish and doing all these other side things, but I can't take on these alligators. That's where I'm at right now. I've done every side.
You don't need to do the alligators yet. Move past the alligators.
I don't have any other options to do.
I'm sure you do.
I pulled up my guide, and it was like, yeah, here's your only 2 other things that you haven't done yet is to kill these alligators.
Does he need to go explore, Caleb? Is that what he needs to do? Or
I think you might need to move to the next area.
They don't do a very good job of telling me where that is and how to get there. I need somebody to hold my hand.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, Logan, because we're in similar spots in that game. So I'll see if I have the same roadblock that you do.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I got lost on Carry On in like 2 minutes.
It was only 10 for me, so don't act like it was maybe 15. I don't know. Yeah. I got lost in that one too. So, but the other game I've been playing a lot this week, and I shouldn't say a lot this week, I played all through the first chapter yesterday. I played through Tell Me Why. So I finished the first chapter of Tell Me Why.
Hey Logan.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
Nope, not gonna do it.
What?
I don't know. I'm just not gonna.
What are we doing?
I I have a better question.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Will you be playing Chapter 2 of Tell Me Why?
I will.
Tell me what I need to know. Oh wow. Okay.
So.
Okay, tell me why.
Okay. God damn it. Okay, so that game, it's better than Life is Strange 2.
Tell me
there
why.
wasn't a high bar for that. I will say that there's a more compelling story there. Life is Strange 2 could not get over itself, I think. It wanted to try to. It kind of thought more of itself than it did, which is kind of sad. I think they tried to throw too much into that game.
They were swinging for the fences on it.
They really were.
Pretty short.
It was just like every scene was what social commentary can we take on with this one, and it was like it was just too much. Like there's and that I don't know. It just didn't hit for me at all. Where Life is Strange 1 had social commentary in it, but also had a story. This game continues with the social commentary piece. It's what they do. That's a don't nod game at this point. Is they have their groups. I shouldn't say they have their groups, but they have a specialized group that they tend to focus on. This one is focused on a twin brothers and sister. Well, they were twin sisters. One is transgendered, so now lives their life as a man. And there was a murder that happened. They got split apart. I'll kind of leave it at that. Because if you want to play it, then you'll. I don't want to tell you what. I don't want to tell you why. But the pacing of this, I think the first chapter was about 2.5 hours, between 2.5 hours or so. It moves along at a better pace than what the last Life is Strange game did, and that helps it out a lot. There are only 3 chapters, which also makes me feel better about it, where Life is Strange 2 had 5 chapters, and after about the first hour of chapter 2, I said, no, I'm not playing this anymore. This is bad. I will say it is suffering from a little bit of the telltale disease, is what I will call it, which is just really means that everything is built in that engine, that Life is Strange engine, and it's starting to show its age. There are some, like, it's interesting because there'll be some like rendered cutscenes that look really nice, and then it goes back into this like, oh, that's right, these character models don't look that great, and like compared to what you just showed me. So there's a little bit of that problem, but for me, the characters are compelling enough and the story is compelling enough to see this through. Now, there is one little quirky thing that's going on right now that they brought up that I'm like, oh, don't tell me it's like we're going down this rabbit hole. And I'm hoping it doesn't go that direction, but the end of chapter 1 throws you for a big ass loop. In a good way. Of
course it does.
In a good way.
That's the thing they do.
That's what they do. And it's in a good way. But there was like one weird subplot thing going on in the background. I'm like, oh boy, I hope not. I hope they don't go that weird direction with it. But it's good so far. It's very good. So I will let you guys know where.
Keep us updated on that.
I will probably have that finished by next week.
How many chapters? And 3. Tell me why. Just 3.
Just 3, and they're all on Game Pass.
Okay.
So I believe this is. I don't know if this is what the exclusive window is or whatever for this, but I know that they were making it a Game Pass exclusive, timed exclusive. I don't know if it's on PC right now or I'm just not really sure. But yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Also, I forgot to mention this last week. We were so busy last week with all the other stuff, but I got that Mario 3D All-Stars pack.
Oh, awesome.
Mario 64 is old.
Don't do it. Don't insult that game.
It's the right camera. That's all it is. It's that the right thumbstick for the camera. You're just so used to being able to move that thing around, but it was the C buttons on that controller, and it was not, and the camera was a Lakitu. And
yeah, I think that was the thing that disappointed me about that package was they really didn't touch anything with the games. They just kind of ported them over straight.
Yeah, I think they did a little bit of work with Sunshine and Galaxy, but not a lot. Just to kind of really HD them up a little bit.
Right.
But they did nothing to 64.
Right.
And it shows. I mean, so the other bad thing about the 64 port is you can't change to invert the camera stick. So I'm an inverted guy through and through, and boy, that messed with me pretty hard. So that one hurt. I did try Galaxy for the first time. I played a little bit of that. That is a weird game. Like the running around on the planets and stuff. Like it's all like weird. Jason, did you ever play Galaxy at all?
No.
So like you're running on planets, and the planets are circles. So you are like doing a loop around the planet, like on a lot of things, and it's taken a little bit of getting used to. It's not bad so far. I finally at least know where Rosalina came from. I had no idea who Princess Rosalina was. I just knew she was the Blue Peach Princess is basically how I got to know who she was. But it's okay so far. I'm not like, whoa, wow, check out this awesome Mario game. Like it's fine.
Well, if you want that, you should play Sunshine.
I am not touching Sunshine. I have touched Sunshine before, and I will not touch it again.
I like Sunshine, but it's not a game for everybody.
Yeah, that one I did not care for Sunshine at all. I owned it and regret owning it. God, I still own it actually.
Do you really?
Yeah. I don't know how or why, but I still own that game.
I might take that off your hands at some point. We'll see.
All right.
Make a deal.
Logan, if you negotiate this as poorly as him borrowing your PS5, you're going to be in trouble.
I know. I offered that up wholly. That was not there was no negotiation.
It wasn't a negotiation. Okay.
That was just me being a nice friend. That was all.
What a guy.
Gosh, what else did I play this week? There was something else I played. Oh, yeah, you know what? We'll get into that another day. I can't even get into that one yet. Nothing exciting, but so yeah, that's what I've been playing at this point. Yeah, so I'll have updates on Tell Me Why next week.
Cool.
I think.
You
that, we get into TV or?
Yeah, you mentioned rabbit holes earlier, so I'm going to use that as a segue. I started watching a show called Utopia. This is on Amazon.
Okay.
The reason I started watching it is because it is written by Gillian Flynn. I don't know how you say your name.
I never understand it with the GILs. Yeah, because sometimes they call him Gillian and sometimes it's Jillian. And
so she wrote Gone Girl. She wrote Sharp Objects. She wrote Dark Places.
Yeah.
Which I love the Sharp Objects TV show. I love the movie Gone Girl, and I love the book Dark Places. So she's 3 for 3 for me. So I was going to check this out. Apparently, it's based on an older TV show, same kind of concept, but just modernized.
Oh, this is the Cusack Rainn Wilson thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's basically the story of it is that there's a comic book called Dystopia that some people believe predicted pandemics or outbreaks of diseases. Based on the imagery that's in the comic book, they kind of piece together, oh, that looks like this country, and there's 4 leaves on this branch, and that's how many people infected, like that kind of stuff. And there's all kinds of clues in there that predate the actual outbreaks. So there's like a cult of people, not a cult, but like a bunch of people that believe this, and somebody discovers in a abandoned house a comic book called Utopia, which is the sequel to Dystopia, and no one's ever seen this before. So they take it to a comic book convention to try to sell it, and hijinks ensue.
Hijinks ensue.
The first episode really grabbed me hard. I was really into it. It's almost got that. I mean, it's not the same level of quality of like production quality of a Fargo, but it's got that kind of similar like small time crime aspect to it that I really like. So the first episode hooked me hard. The second one was a little bit more of a setup type episode, and that's all I've watched so far. I think there's 8 in total. So, but I'm into this show so far. It's been really good for me.
I don't think I'd ever even heard of this show until you said that. I was just looking at
the only reason I checked it out is because of the writer. So I'm really glad I did.
Yeah, so
I put this on my list. We'll see. I might get to it. You'll have to let us know how the rest of the episodes go.
Yeah.
How many did you say episodes you're in right now?
2.
Okay. Interesting. Jason, have you finished the Kevin Costner extravaganza?
His Western magnum opus.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
okay.
I've finished it.
Magnum opus.
It's oh god, you feel like he's gonna chew right through your television screen. It's something else.
2 seasons, right?
Magnum opus. If this is his magnum opus, we need to just bury him in a grave full of cheese.
yes, cheese, or like I said, syrup. Like yes, whatever kind of decadent treat you can describe, because that show is decadent television, man. Someone dies every episode. Someone has sex every episode. Like it is just
a different person.
Oh, it is over the top. It's imagine if this were a graphic novel moving. Is like the best way I can describe it, about a bunch of like rebellious cowboys who are protecting to fight this ranch from investors, property builders, any kind of threat. Native Americans wanting to reclaim territory. Like everybody's coming for this ranch, and it's just like, oh gosh, it's over the top and just so unbelievably unrealistic. And it doesn't matter because it scratches a certain kind of itch for me. So that's probably going to be my favorite bad TV show of the year. And it's not that terrible. Like it's really well produced. Like it's the way that it's written and acted are the parts that are just like, it's just too much. It's just too much. But I know that, and I'm willing to accept that. So it doesn't turn me off. But like, the Emmys were last week. We were talking about that. And if you put this show against anything that is even remotely subtle, like, it's just, you can't put them side by side, because Yellowstone really is just kind of too much. It's just too much. It's too much of a good thing. Like it's too much murder and too much sex and too much swearing.
There are parts of it where I think like you could probably put it up against some of the like prestige television, but it's so inconsistent in that way. Like there are scenes when you get two people that are, if you get the two of the of the huge cast that they have, if you get the two that can act in the same scene together, it's a really good scene. But then it immediately shifts over to a person that cannot act, is doing a terrible job in a scene that doesn't make any sense. It just goes back and forth like that. So yeah.
I guess I can't recommend you guys watch it or anything. Caleb, finish it. Like I can't, unless you were curious, but I really like that show, but I'm aware of its limitations. God, no, man, somebody's gonna die every time I know. Like the intro starts, and I'm like, somebody's dead. Like it's over for somebody.
two or 3 seasons of that.
There are 3 seasons of
3,
it.
okay.
And the 3rd season just ended on this huge cliffhanger. It's like the most self and like everyone's dead, and we'll find out if they're actually dead. But everyone's dead. Like not only did Rita die, but Dexter died, Harrison died, his dad died again, Angel died, everybody's dead. Vince Masuka's dead. Everybody's dead.
Not Masuka.
Yeah, everybody's dead.
Wait, so Yellowstone is killing off people from other TV shows?
Yes, they literally.
Now that's a show.
Everybody. That's what I mean. Like that's why I am like entangled because I can't recommend this to anyone who likes good television. But it's like they're brazen enough to like to pretend that we're surprised by them literally having 6 or 7 characters in different ways have their lives hang in the balance as the season ends in different ways. Like they've found about 25 different ways to have characters murdered throughout all the show, and then they find new and interesting ways, like this person's in a bad situation, this person's in a bad situation. It's all consecutive. Like no show does that. Any show that respected itself wouldn't dare do that. But Yellowstone, it'll do it.
I think and I just realized this since we talked last week, but I think I was really put off by the fact that I went into this show expecting, because this is the same writer that wrote Wind River. So I went in expecting that level of quality, and I got this thing. I think that's why I was so turned around on this.
And Wind River is subtle. Like it picks its spots, much like Hell or High Water picks its spots. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like those are the kind of things that really, Caleb, you and I both enjoy, but those are not like, they're not blunt objects over your head over and over and over and over again. Like Yellowstone is just every week with the soap opera. Like that's what it is. It's like a soap opera, but like more violent and more well produced. But it is that, because everything happens and nothing happens and everyone dies constantly. It's just ridiculous. So that's it. Besides, I finished I'll Be Gone in the Dark.
Before you get into that, sorry, I have one more question about Yellowstone.
Oh yeah, sure.
Did you sit and actively watch Yellowstone, or was it a second screen?
I went from, so at the beginning of each season, it was a second screen, and then I actively watched the end of season 2 and 3.
Okay.
Because they're I think by the time they ratcheted up to 12, 13, 14, be way beyond 10, those episodes are just constant. Like they're all right. This horrible thing happens. This horrible thing happens. This horrible, like it's constant. Like there's no breathing room. Where in any show that's going to win awards or get critical favor, there's going to be pacing in it. Even like a good wrestling pay-per-view knows when to have a cool down match. Yellowstone does not know how to cool the crowd down.
Okay.
It's relentless, and so knowing that that's what I was getting into, I think the last 2 episodes of each season I dropped everything and watched.
Okay.
And I did enjoy, but that's because like I knew what it was and know its limitations.
I'm toying with the idea of going back to it, but now knowing what it is in that mindset, but also like the mechanics of how to actually watch it as well. So thank you.
Yeah, I think if you second screened it at least wise, I think you'd be better apt to be like, God, that's ridiculous, and let it roll off your head rather than be disappointed by it in any way, because don't even waste that energy.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So sorry, what was the other thing that you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I finished that. I didn't know. I do a little bit about the Golden State Killer. They do a really good job of talk about pacing, about Michelle McNamara's work and how they got to where they got, and how they involved cooperation with citizen detectives and real detectives, and how technology caught up to eventually how they caught him. But the really compelling stuff in that series is when she passes away. Like that stuff is, I mean, that's where HBO just has that. They have that touch. Like they have adults in the room that know when to rein it in, you know? And I think that's the part that will stick with me and kind of, obviously these are terrible things. Like I don't want to like, but watching, it's weird because you watch this person who destroyed so many, like an unfathomable amount of lives, but then you watch Patton Oswalt become a widower and watch, they do a really good job of talking about their daughter Alice, and you kind of watch her grow up, and then her mom's gone, and that episode is rough. That episode's rough.
They also do a really good job in that episode of letting Patton tell the story, because he's the person that should be telling that story, right? So they do a good job of like, okay, let's cut away from the murder stuff for a bit, give him his time to tell this part of the story. I thought that was really good.
They do it in a really nice structured way too, because you feel like you live those 2 days with Patton.
Yep.
And you feel like you understand what his day was like, and then they interstitially cut to her family and how they knew and when they found out and how they were interacting with Patton. And then it branches out to the community of people that she was working with on all this research. And then they start to find out and they give their feedback. Then it goes back to Patton. And he says, I don't think maybe I'll probably forget, right? It'd be hyperbolic to say I won't forget. But there's the line at the beginning, I think, of the final episode where he says, the second worst day of my life was when my wife died, but the first was the following day when I had to tell my daughter. And it's just like, oh, fuck.
And before that, God. When he said that he was given the advice to pick up his daughter from school and not tell her, because you can't tell a kid something like that and then tell them they have to go to bed.
Principal or her teacher. Yeah. That's rough. And I don't want to be insensitive to the way they cover like this horrible monster's impact on not just victims' lives, but their families and people all the way down the line impacted by it. Cause they do a good job of that too. But the stuff surrounding her death is what will stick with me about that show. Honestly. Yeah.
Well, and in a way that was kind of his final killing, right? Like he's largely responsible for her death. So in a way it kind of comes full circle like that. And they do a really good job of connecting the two things together, I thought.
At the end where they literally go piece by piece, like they give you a timeline of his activity.
Yeah.
And his downtime and why there was downtime, and like it's fucking horrifying. It's just so scary that someone could do this amount of damage for that long amount of time. And it's just, I'm watching that part and I'm like, oh, thank God we have modern technology. Thank God we have a way of catching these people. You know, like no one would dare have that prolific run that he had in this modern era. But like right time, right place. Holy shit.
If somebody were to ask me like what true crime documentaries to watch, like I would start with The Jinx, obviously, and then I would go to The Staircase after that. But then after The Staircase, I think it might be this. Like it's right up there. It's really, really well done.
Yeah, I'd have to think about that. I like all those a lot, and I agree with you that The Jinx is like on high there. Yeah, this might be it. I'm trying to think of others. Is there a coming documentary, or was there? Yeah, so the second season of Mindhunter is about the serial killer from Atlanta, who kidnapped all the African American boys. Is there a coming doc on that?
Probably.
I feel like there's one on the way. I remember being shocked by that story because it was like something like 27 young African American boys that guy killed.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a coming documentary. But you're right, Caleb. I'm having a hard time thinking about other ones that are of that high quality. Go figure. HBO. They've done it again.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's it for me. That was TV.
Well, keeping up with the HBO world, I finished Perry Mason.
Oh.
Have you guys finished that?
That's next. That's next for me. I wanted to finish I'll Be Gone in the Dark, and then I'm going to finish that.
I'll just
not.
No, I'm just trying to decide what do I say about that show if you're going to finish it.
We'll just table the conversation.
I think we just table the conversation. I think at this point.
Okay. Okay.
You should finish it. That's for sure.
Awesome.
But we'll discuss that at another point in time.
It's Lithgow. It's Matthew Reese. I just can't. I got to finish it.
What episode are you on?
3 or 4. Okay. The last thing I saw was Preacher Woman passed out. I think it was right before the end of that episode.
You act like that's the first time and the only time she passes out.
In front of everyone. Maybe It's the first time. It's the first time.
She's kind of all over the place. By the way, they casted her as She-Hulk. Tatiana Maslany, or is it Maslany or Maslany? I don't remember what her name is, but yeah, she's going to be She-Hulk in the Disney Plus series.
Oh, she was in
Orphan Black.
What was Orphan Black, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, she's in Perry Mason, and she's going to be in that new She-Hulk show. That, and I've been watching The Boys. Boys is still real good. I like that show a lot. Caleb,
I don't like it anymore.
You don't like it anymore?
I don't like it anymore.
Oh, I still like it.
See, I guess my big problem is that I do like the parts about the superheroes, but when they actually go to the boys, those stories are all boring. I don't.
Yeah, I could really. I mean, yeah, especially. I mean, like Billy's stuff is whatever. It's fine. Like I get why he exists, but then like essentially Huey is he? I mean, a main character on the show. I mean, he's kind of the main character, but I don't really care about his stuff that much either.
I don't care about him at all. And have you watched the one from this week yet?
No,
are you caught up?
I'm not fully caught up.
So they have they introduce a new character that's played by, and I already forgot his name. He was the guy in Quantum Break.
Oh yeah.
I forgot what the actor's name.
He was Iceman in X-Men.
Yeah, and he was in Fringe. But anyway, he looks just like Huey to me. So every time they would go back and forth, I'd be like, wait, that's a different character. Like I don't know what it is about those two.
Different enough in your head that
their faces look very similar. So it was throwing me off for a while.
And see, but yeah, for me, it's I have such a love-hate relationship with Homelander.
Yeah, that's the thing is like Homelander and what's her face, the other the one that is with him all the time. Their storyline is pretty compelling to me, but every other storyline going around it is just like I don't care about any of this.
Are you talking about Shawn Ashmore?
Yes, Shawn Ashmore. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. That dude has had a decent career. Guess how old Shawn Ashmore is? Just take a guess. Sorry, 41. I don't want to. Logan, pretty fucking good guess. Caleb, any want to take a stab?
Oh, 42.
He is 40, and he looks like he's 20 always.
Yeah. As soon as you said that, I mean, I knew he had to go way older than what because he has a baby face. That's for sure.
Dude, he's older than I am, and he's 40.
I mean, you got to think he was Iceman in X-Men.
I know. Yeah.
Part 3. So like
you're right.
That puts him up there already.
Just so you have it side by side, Jason, pull up a picture of the guy who plays Huey. And then just tell me that they don't look alike.
Okay, I'm doing it. I'm on it. I could see, depending upon how a scene is lit.
Right.
Yeah.
Which a lot of their stuff is very poorly lit in the boys' area.
Like on purpose, right?
On purpose, yeah. Like they live in like this, supposed to be run down.
Shawn Ashmore could play future Huey. Like he could play like a few, like a 10 years from now, if they flash forward to something, that it could just be him.
You could buy it. Yeah, you're right. They do. Sean Ashmore has just a little bit like sandier colored hair, and that's kind of about it.
Yeah.
Especially, does Sean Ashmore rock a beard in The Boys, or is he clean shaven?
Well, he does have a beard, but it's really short, and it's also got a lot of gray in it. So that was the one thing that kind of separated the two. But their faces to me looked.
Okay. The only other thing
I love how we that show. I do like that's the one show where like we're all over the place. Caleb kind of likes it. I don't like it very much, but that's only from season 1. Logan likes it a lot. Like it's just kind of we're all at different levels of, but we all watch it. Like I don't like that show that much, but I like it enough to I will watch the second season. Like so say that for what it's worth, you know? Like
I don't like that show. I'm going to watch it, but I don't really like it.
But I will. Yeah, but I will cuz so there must be something about it. Like that I find worth seeing.
It's the ultra violence. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
there's a lot of that in season 2. Let me tell you.
That's the one thing. It's so weird. I know it's conflicted, but that's one of my huge turnoffs for the first season of that show.
Really?
I just don't think.
You love Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, but they're not the same thing. Their mediums are totally different. And we were talking about subtlety earlier. I don't watch gore porn movies. That's not. But
that's real stuff. Like I don't know.
They're different things, and I think The Boys doesn't. I wish they picked better spots to blow someone up.
They go for shock factor and they go for outlandish. Is kind of what they do.
That's the thing. And I just finished praising a show that I thought was like okay for those reasons, but it's just not. It's different, like outlandish in a different way. So. I don't know. I will watch that, but I like anytime we talk about The Boys, the three of us are all in completely different places with it. It's funny. Really, we are. It's always going to be interesting to hear the three of us talk about that show because no one's ever going to be on the same page about it.
No, we're all on the different pages. That's for sure. The only other show that came to an end last night, I'm very depressed about, is we lost Inside the NBA for the year. TNT will no longer carry those games for the finals, and boy, Inside the NBA, high tier television. I will miss that show a lot, and I don't even know when I don't know when the NBA is coming back, but it's probably a few months from now. That's for sure. So. It's been real nice having.
Yeah, they said that there will not be any more after the finals. There will not be any more in 2020.
And I think
it will even kind definitely of said, start in 2021.
Definitely 2021, and there's not even a start date then. Draft I think is going to be mid-November. Is what they're talking about. So yeah, I don't know, but it's.
They do Ernie Johnson has come a full season though, which is exciting.
Oh wow, gosh! Is the NBA going to end up changing its entire like season start date from now on? Like that would be wild. But gosh, yeah, like it's been a great season. I mean, we got the finals set now, so
I'm so glad they did the bubble and that it worked because that's been such a like stress reliever for me to watch the NBA.
It really has been.
No kidding.
It has been, yeah, because I have had zero interest in this baseball season at all. And we're playoffs are set for that, or they're getting set for that here at least by the end of tonight. But I don't know why. It's just that shortened baseball season and the 16-team playoff. I don't know. I'm just not that interested.
Baseball is also getting to the point where some of the games go like. They go 4 hours plus, and it's just like I'm not going to devote that much time.
A basketball game goes 2 hours max.
Yeah,
like it's hard to dedicate that amount of time.
Stop bashing baseball. Baseball's fantastic. You're both idiots.
I will start paying way more attention when the playoffs start, and I will start.
I think the playoffs is going to be awesome. Yeah. I think that's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be the coolest playoff they'll ever have. They might even adopt it if it works, because I am super interested in it.
Yeah, that's why
it's more like March Madness. It's like baseball madness.
But I guess I would have a hard time if playing 162 games to ultimately have 16 teams make the playoffs. That would
They
be a
do
hard
need to
pill to
shorten the
swallow.
season.
That
They got to shorten the season.
this
They got
is,
to.
I mean, well, and I'm wondering. It makes you wonder because TNT, well, I should say TNT, Turner Sports just paid a buttload of money to get the postseason secured for the baseball postseason secured for the next 5 years. I think it was a few billion. Like they are really banking on them having a lot of playoff games on TV.
Which maybe means that more playoffs then, I guess.
Which I mean,
I
that's
don't know.
if they seriously want to go down to like a 60 to 70 game season and have the baseball purists will just eat this thing alive. They hate it to no end, but it would help the game a lot, I think.
Yeah, but the game's not in trouble. Like, it doesn't need fixed.
It's been in trouble the last couple of years.
It makes plenty of money. The only problem is it's age base. Like the median baseball fan is 55. Like that is trouble. The trouble isn't now. The trouble is in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So they got to figure that out. But as far as revenue, they're doing just fine.
Mm. I thought attendance was down pretty bad the last couple of years, and ratings had been down for World Series games and stuff.
No, the ratings are fine. It's the same thing. It's the same stuff, like down a few points here and there, and then people want to embellish that, but it's doing fine, especially financially. The ad revenue is good. The sport's really healthy, but they do need to figure out how to make their average fan younger, or else they are going to be in trouble.
They've done a decent,
their marketing stuff has, even this year, has kind of embraced, like the baseball purists, like the people that get crotchety when someone flips a bat. Like baseball is trying to be on the right side of that. Like, don't hate that, celebrate it, because that's what kids love. Kids love swag, so embrace swag.
Right. They've done a better job of making the game more accessible. What I mean by that is they're not taking down every YouTube video that goes up of somebody.
Right.
I think that embracing what that MLB extra innings package looks like and making that more available. NFL it was still, I think this is the last year, but they're stuck in that Sunday ticket world, that DirecTV Sunday ticket thing, and the only way you can get Sunday ticket is that way. And at some point I think this year is really hurting them a lot. I mean, the ratings are down, and call it politics or whatever, but I think a lot of it is how many people cut cable and they don't have another way of watching football right now. I watched a game via a stream today because why in the world we got regional coverage of the Tennessee Titans today instead of the Pittsburgh Steelers and Houston Texans with all three Watt brothers playing in one game? Like, how is that not a national game? And we get stuck with the Tennessee Titans, and we are 7 hours away from Tennessee at most. I don't know, 7-8 hours.
Who are they playing?
What? The Titans?
Tennessee. Yeah.
The Vikings.
Oh, that's why. Minnesota is in the same conference as the Bears.
I guess.
So.
Still seems odd. Yeah, same division, but I mean, Packers, sure. Vikings,
people that care about the Bears would care more about the Vikings than they would about the.
Yeah, but it's going up against a Bears game. I guess that's the other thing. People aren't going to be watching. They're watching one or the other. Regional coverage is weird. I think that's very odd. Like, I mean, Indianapolis Colts, sure. I guess. I don't know many Colts fans though.
It's interesting you say that, Logan, too, about the baseball thing, because they've still got, like there's Cubs fans in Iowa that can't watch the Cubs because they don't have access to their now marquee
sports network thing. Yeah,
and it's the same. Like they're taking the Yes model from New York, but they're not taking care of regions correctly.
No,
and the fact that someone could like be out of the marquee area and then go to ESPN to watch a national broadcast for the Cubs and have it blacked out because they're still in a regional market. Like,
It's crazy.
That kind of stuff. That kind of stuff has got to stop. Like they've got to figure that out.
Yeah, you want to turn young viewers away. Tell them they can't watch something.
Right. Yeah, and especially put it on put it on an arcane model like cable. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right, Caleb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, young viewers are definitely going to shy away from that as fast as possible. I wonder how many people under 30 even have a cable subscription at this point.
I don't think.
Who knows?
I don't think I know any.
I mean, let's say, and if you don't have a way of accessing sports, what are you going to do? You're going to pirate it, or two, you're just not going to watch it.
Yep.
So, and when you pirate it and you don't watch it, you don't get the ratings. So that's why NFL ratings are down.
Be interesting to see how we've talked about the way the TV shows are provided, streamed, served, whatever, and on what platforms. Be interesting to see if sports is more nimble in the future, or if the cable model has just moved over to
I hope so.
YouTube TV and other services like that are basically cable. You know what I mean?
At this point, they are.
This is different, but they are cable. Like it's the same. I mean, your internet is providing it, but that's the only difference. Otherwise, the services are structured the same. So
they weren't. At what point they are now? That's the
now
thing.
They are. So at what point do we see a real change, or do we just do what we've always done, but just in a different way?
My hope is that the reason they're not doing stuff like that now is because they're still tied down to those individual contracts, like the cable deals and all that kind of stuff. And once those start expiring, I'm hoping that they can put something.
But that's it. But then Turner Broadcasting just bought up the playoffs for MLB.
Yeah, that's true.
And so if you buy the MLB extra innings package, the streaming package or whatever, does that get you access to the playoffs then? And if it doesn't, then that kind of sucks.
Right.
And the same with streaming in market games. Like, can you stream in market games? A lot of times still you can't.
Yep. Which is the vast majority of people that want to watch the game. So
right. I mean that's yeah. So I don't.
Weird.
It is a very odd thing, that's for sure. And with the NFL Sunday Ticket piece. I mean, I'm a Steelers fan in Central Illinois, so I mean, a lot of times they are a nationally broadcast team, but when they're not, I struggle to find a way to get them, and I find different ways, but sometimes those ways aren't exactly reliable either. If I had the option to buy a $300 package to watch the Steelers for the year, I'd probably do it.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money.
But I don't even have the option.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. I wonder if they would put out pricing models that would then, let's see what we can get away with here. Yeah. At least they would try something new.
Mm-hmm. Well, because I'd probably share it with my dad. Hopefully it would work that we could have 2 logins or something, or stream 2 devices at once or something. But that would be the only thing. But yeah, I just don't have that option. So without having to pay, I can have that option, but I have to pay $120 a month to have DirecTV along with it. So, be interesting to see. I mean, the NBA is probably really the only one who has gone that model, but at the same time, the playoffs aren't in that model. If that game is on ESPN,
they do regional blackouts too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you want to get the NBA season, or is it League Pass?
League Pass, yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't if you wanted to watch the Bulls, you couldn't watch the Bulls.
Nope. And that's especially bad when, like you were saying with the Cubs, when it's on WGN TV and not WGN America, because you can't even get that in any cable package here at all. So you literally cannot watch a game in any legal way in some cases.
Which is crazy, because then you've got reasonably thinking people all of a sudden looking at pirating, and it's like,
yep.
I don't want to. Why are you making me do this?
Yeah, exactly.
That's wild.
Anyway,
we have talked way too long, so I think we should talk about the Emmys next week.
Well, there's not a lot to talk about.
I think it was
3 shows won.
Yeah, Schitt's Creek and Succession were basically it. So
and Watchmen.
Yeah. So congratulations, you guys did okay.
Yeah.
All shows. Well, Schitt's Creek. Not all of us, but I know that we all like Watchmen and we all like Succession a lot.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Succession's so good. Mm-hmm. I was going to talk about the individual actors a little bit, but that's fine.
We can maybe get to that next week if we want to. But yeah, it just kind of felt like Schitt's Creek. Didn't they swept it, right?
Comedy comedy. Yeah.
Characters, writing, show, man, that's wild. I don't know if maybe another show has done that, but I don't remember. One other TV thing I wanted to mention is I think right now season 2 of Fargo is on. I think.
Oh, did it start tonight?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Fargo's tonight.
I don't remember what night that was on. So
that's it's a Sunday night show, which I don't think FX has really done before. But
Sunday night,
shows. I figured it was
Hulu
like a and DVR. It usually is, but yeah, they're like, well, why don't we just be on Sunday like everybody else? Because we're just DVR fodder or streaming service fodder like everything else. So
yeah. So
I'm excited about that. It's not getting great reviews, but that's okay.
I'll still watch it. So all right. Well, that sounds good. We will call it a night, and we will see everybody next week for who knows what news is going to come out because, yeah, that's the way it goes.
I'll have news about the Colonel and his French fries.
That is true. Yeah, okay. We'll have that. So, all right, this has been the Master of Unlocking Podcast. Have a good week, everyone.